Have you ever wondered to yourself, especially in this time and climate, politically, if we could possibly be living through a secret civil war? As far-fetched as that may sound, there's actually new evidence that comes out every single day about this, and you may be wondering why you aren't hearing about it, or why everything is so political nowadays. And today I'm here to explain those things to you, and I'm here to kind of plant a seed in your head and give you some ideas to run with, and some just some facts that are real and that are out there, that to let you ponder and let you think for yourself and be a free thinker. So first off, I'm going to start with the new evidence found. Of course, everybody knows about Jeffrey Epstein now. There was a documentary out on him on Netflix, and it really dove deep into the sex trafficking ring, and really the cruel and horrible things that he did throughout his time, and with all the money that he had, he was just such a powerful individual. He could buy himself pretty much into any place. He had a lot of powerful and wealthy friends. Actually, he was really good friends with the Clintons, and soon a lot of people are going to find out that the Clintons were actually aboard his private jet 20 plus times within a year. And there's a bunch of other people, A-list Hollywood stars who were close with Jeffrey Epstein. Not just our president was Donald Trump. He was associated with him a little bit early in I think in the late '90s, early 2000s. But we didn't know these things about him yet, because the Epstein trials and the investigation didn't really start until 2003 to 2005. But what we know now is that his partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, is arrested, and she's actually going through trial, and all the documents have been ordered to be unsealed and brought out to court. So this involves all the flight logs, all the video footage that was from the island, every little thing that was caught that they have still. As we move on to pedophilia and child sex trafficking, or sex trafficking in general, it's a horrible thing, and there's come to find out, you do more research into it, and there's a lot of money to be made in this. So, I mean, if you had people if you think of it, if you had people in high power that were out here that could twist anything to make it look like they're the good guys, and take your money and put it into these illegal things and these heinous acts, it sounds like a story out of a horror movie. But I mean, we could very possibly be living through that. We just don't know it yet, because people don't want to acknowledge it, because it's so evil. The next thing we're going to talk about is why we aren't hearing about these things. And actually, I meant to mention Pizzagate previously, but what Pizzagate is it's all mainstream media pretty much has written it off as a conspiracy theory, but it involves the Clintons, Anthony Weiner, who got arrested and actually had his laptop seized, and they found 650,000 emails to Hillary Clinton about child molestation, trafficking, and satanic ritual abuse within those emails. But moving forward, everybody, all the mainstream media outlets such as MSNBC, CBS, Vice, the New York Times, or the New York Post, or the New York Times, Washington Post, all those big hitters like that, you see them coming out with these relatively same stories, and they're all coming out around the same time. So it kind of makes you wonder if why we're hearing about this then and at the same time from these same people, which actually are all owned by 4 main companies. I think it is Time Warner, AT&T, Comcast, and Viacom. And what those are the biggest corporations that own everything in the world. So that includes our news stations, such as CBS, MSNBC, Fox, all those. So they pretty much own everything. So if we have somebody who's pushing a narrative, from the top, and they're all known to be liberal associated and given big, handsome donations to the Clinton Foundation through their presidency as well. A lot of the stuff doesn't make sense, and it seems a little fishy to me. And why is everything so political now? It's I honestly think that we are in the midst of a secret civil war, and it's between the deep state and a entity called Q, which is military intelligence, retired and still present. These guys are the most elite of the elite when it comes to intelligence and that department within the military. It's suspected that Donald Trump is actually one of the head guys who are in operation of Q Anonymous. And what Q Anonymous is they are a group of these military intelligence people who leak these documents of real, quote unquote, real news that the mainstream media isn't putting out, and they're pushing forth a message of awakening and peace and love, and a time where we don't have to worry about war, and where war's not a thing, to where world peace, we could actually be living in a time of world peace. And it's I'm sure you heard on the news Donald Trump talking about how he's going to drain the swamp and the deep state are the same thing. So he's been talking about it this whole time, and all these things are just adding up and coming together too well. And I just like to leave you with one quote that Q had mentioned in one of their posts. But it is, how many coincidences is it until it is mathematically impossible? Thank you for your time.